julle, dis uiteindelik 4:15. Dis nou daai tyd van die jaar waar ons nou lekker regmaak vir die eksamen. En ek hoop julle is ook reg vir dit. So it's finally time for. We are finally now here. We've made it. Okay. So it's now that time of the year where we are prepping for the exam and getting ready for it. Are you ready? So this will be really important for you guys because it is in your exam. Firstly, it's your filing systems, your rights and responsibilities, communication, office organization, etiquette in the workplace, and self-management. So die volgende is baie belangrik want dit is in jou eksamen. Die liaiseringsstelsel, jou regte en verantwoordelikhede, jou kommunikasie, kantoor, organisasie, etiket in die werksplek, asook selfbestuur. So, by the filing systems, you get your two main ones. It is the horizontal and vertical filing. Then in those two filing systems, you go into your classifications, your alphabetical classification, your numerical classification, your subjective classification, and your chronological classification. So, in die So, daar is twee liaiseringsstelsels. Jou horisontale enetjie asook jou vertikale enetjie. Onthou, binne daai kan jy jou files in die volgende maniere indeel. Jy kan dit subjektief indeel, alfabeties, numeries, asook kronologies indeel. So onthou byvoorbeeld, as hulle byvoorbeeld vir jou noem, byvoorbeeld, wat is alfabetiese indeling? Dan kan jy byvoorbeeld sê, dit is wanneer die rekords ingedeel word volgens die vanne, volgens die name en goed soos dit. Like for instance, if they ask you, what is alphabetical classification, then you can tell me that it is when they file this files under the people's name, or for instance, their surname, but alphabetically. Remember, your rights and responsibilities are also really important. Onthou, jou regte en jou verantwoordelikhede is ook baie belangrik. Soos byvoorbeeld, wanneer ons nou gou deur dit gaan in ons leerboekie, dan gaan ons byvoorbeeld sien, die werknemersregte is 'n stel beskermings en voordele waarvoor werknemers volgens die wet gerigtig is. Verstaan ons? So, remember, most every employee has their rights and responsibilities. Remember, we're going to go through our learning page quickly. So it says, employees' rights are a set of protections and benefits that employees are entitled to under law. Soos byvoorbeeld, die volgende regte word ingesluit. Dit is byvoorbeeld die reg op veilige en gesonde werkplek. Maar kom ons wees eerlik, as jy seer kry by die werk, dan moet hulle betaal vir dit. Behalwe as jy nou self dit veroorsaak het. Die reg tot 'n minimumloon, die reg op oortydbetaling, die reg om by 'n vakbond aan te sluit, die reg om regstappe teen 'n werkgewer te vat. So the rights typically include the right to a safe workplace, because let's be honest, if you get hurt at work, they're supposed to pay for your medical problems then, unless you caused yourself to get hurt at work. Then, unfortunately, that's your own problem. You also have the right to a minimum wage, the right to overtime pay, the right to unionize, the right to take legal action against your employer. Maar ongelukkig het ons nie net regte nie, ons het ook verantwoordelikhede. Soos byvoorbeeld, ons moet ons werk voltooi, ons moet verwagtinge nakom, samewerking, kommunikasie, vaardighede verbeter, gesondheid en veiligheid, loyaliteit en eerlikheid. But unfortunately, we don't only have rights, but we also have responsibilities. Like, for instance, completing our work, meeting expectations, collaboration, communication, upskilling, health and safety, and loyalty as well as honesty. Because if we think about that logically, you have your rights, but you also have your responsibilities. Let's take your school as an example. You have the right to go to school, but you also have your responsibility to do your schoolwork as well as to show up at school. Ons vat gaan jou skool as 'n voorbeeld. Jy het die reg om skool toe te gaan, maar jou verantwoordelikheid by die skool is om op te daag, jou werk te doen en te luister en nie enigiemand uit die werk uit te hou nie. So nou is ons uiteindelik by etiek as ook etiket. So kom ons kyk gou wat ons leerboekie vir ons sê, wat is etiek en wat is etiket? Etiket verwys na die beginsels van reg en verkeerd wat ons gedrag, besluitneming rig, terwyl etiket die gedragskode binne die samelewing omvat. Let's quickly check the difference between etiquette as well as ethics according to our learning paper. So, it says ethics refers to the principles and rights of rights and wrongs guiding our behavior and decision making, while etiquette encom- encom- encompasses, sorry, me and that one word, the code of conduct within society. So it is important for us to remember why etiquette is important in the workplace. Dit is vir ons baie belangrik om te onthou hoekom etiquette baie belangrik is in die werkplek. Ons is nou amper klaar, net nog 3 skyfies en dan is ons klaar. Okay. So nou is ons by die ontvangsdame. So wat belangrik kan wees is byvoorbeeld wat is 'n ontvangsdame en die pligte wat hulle het. Soos byvoorbeeld hulle met besoekers verwelkom, telefone beantwoord, afsprake skeduleer, pos hanteer soos byvoorbeeld e-posse asook fisiese pos. Want party besighede deel nog letterlik met 'n lieflike brief wat hulle vir mekaar fisies stuur in plaas van om dit net te e-pos. As ook byvoorbeeld inligting te verskaf vir die mense wat inkom en leers te organiseer. So we are almost done with this video. There's just 3 slides left and then we are done. So let's quickly check at the receptionist. It is important for you to know what is a receptionist as well as what is their duties. Like for instance, greeting visitors, answering phones, scheduling appointments, handling mail physically as well as for instance emails, because there's a lot of a lot of companies that still send physical letters instead of just emailing it to each other, as well as they provide information for the people who come into the company or the people who's visiting the company, and they also organize the files. It is also important for us to remember the qualities that a receptionist should have. So like for instance, communication, organization, as well as time management. Because if you think about it logically, you walk into a company, your receptionist is going to be the first thing that you see, except now for all the furniture and everything. It's going to be the first thing that you see. If they can't communicate very well with you, you're not going to be very impressed about the company. Am I right? And if you think about it now as well, you look behind them and you just see papers scattered everywhere. Do you think that's a good work environment for everyone to work in? No. And it will also make the people who come into the company think that the whole company is unneat. So you need to be very nice and organized. On top of that, time management is really important. You have so many tasks that you need to complete by certain deadlines. If you don't have, for instance, lists of what you need to do and when you need to get everything done, you're going to struggle. But it is really easy if you have really good time management. So let's quickly also just look at, sorry, yeah, nou dat ek weer teruggegaan Engels toe. So kom ons kyk gou na die vaardighede wat 'n ontvangsdame moet hê. Soos byvoorbeeld kommunikasievaardighede, organisasievaardighede, asook tydsbestuurvaardighede. Want as jy nou moet dink logies, jou ontvangsname is die eerste ding wat mense sien wanneer hulle instap in jou besigheid. Behalwe nou jou meubels en alles, maar hulle gaan eers die persoon sien. As die persoon nie goed kan kommunikeer met die mense wat inkom nie, dan gaan hulle dink, okay, great, die besigheid kan ook nie nou baie goed met mekaar kommunikeer nie. Hulle gaan nie hulle besigheid na jou toe bring nie. En as jou kantoor vuil lyk, dit lyk letterlik soos 'n varkhok, die mense wat dan inkom, gaan dink dat die hele besigheid basies vuil is, die mense weet nie hoe hulle werk is nie, hulle gaan niks kan vind nie, so dit gaan ook nie mooi help nie. En tydbestuur is 'n baie groot ding, want jy gaan so 'n lange lysie kry van alles wat jy moet doen teen 'n sekere tyd. As jy nie goed jou tyd kan bestuur nie, dan gaan jy nogals baie sukkel, maar om byvoorbeeld daai to-do lysies te maak en goed soos dit, soos byvoorbeeld wat ek op die witbord sit vir julle, om vir julle te wys, ons moet nog hierdie aktiwiteite doen vir die res van die week of vir die res van die kwartaal. Dit is ons to-do lysie, sodat ons nou goed ons tyd kan bestuur om dit reg te gaan kry. Okay, so, ek weet hierdie is later in ons leerpapier, maar ek het hom net gou hierso voor ingesit vir nou. So, kom ons kyk gou na die boekregister en besoekerskaarte. So, kom ons sê byvoorbeeld nou, ek kry mense wat in my besigheid moet kom, maar ek weet nie wie hulle is nie, of byvoorbeeld hulle sê vir my, nee, ek is hier om vir Pietie of Sunny te kom kuier, maar hulle is eintlik hier om jou te beroof. Dit is hoekom ons 'n boekregister het, asook kaartjies wat ons vir die mense gee, sodat ons kan weet, okay, hulle is regtig die persoon, hulle is nie die persoon nie, ensovoorts. Ons moet ook byvoorbeeld onthou, dat wanneer ons nou besoekers ontvang, ons moet elke liewe keer hulle groet, ons moet ook onthou om hulle mooi te respekteer. So, kom ons begin gou die ontvangs van besoekers gou hierso deur te gaan op ons leerpapier. Groet elke besoeker hartelik. So asseblief, jy gaan nie wees soos, hallo, hoe gaan dit? Nee, jy gaan wees, hallo, hoe gaan dit? Waarmee kan ek help? Dan is dit byvoorbeeld ook, vang besoekersinligting vas. So alweer, onthou ons moet weet wie, wat, waar, wanneer. Okay, wie is jy? Wat maak jy hierso? Waar vandaan kom jy? Ensovoorts, okay. Dan moet ons ook onthou, ons bied hulle 'n sitplek in die sitarea aan. Kom ons sê byvoorbeeld hulle moet wag vir 'n persoon, byvoorbeeld by 'n doktersafspraak. Dan sê ons vir hulle, okay, wag net gou daarso totdat die dokter reg is vir jou. Dan handhaaf professionaliteit. So asseblief, jy moet baie professioneel wees teenoor die mense. Jy kan nie wees so sap my broer nie. Jy moet ordentlik wees soos, goeiedag meneer, goeiedag mevrou. Waarmee kan ons help? Okay. Dan, ons moet ook vir hulle ingelig hou. So kom ons sê byvoorbeeld, jy werk by Google, hulle wil met die eienaar praat, maar sy meeting hardloop nog ons 'n bietjie lank. So dan kan ons byvoorbeeld sê, jammer meneer of jammer mevrou, jy gaan net nog 'n bietjie met wag, hulle meeting hou net nog is nog ons net 'n bietjie nog besig. Dit het nou oor tyd gegaan. So now let's quickly check the visitors register and the visitors card. So let's read this quickly together that is in your learning paper. So basically, in all organizations with access control, visitors are required to complete a visitors or a receptions register. Because if we think about this now logically, let's say, for instance, someone walks into your company, you don't know who they are, but they say, no, I'm here to visit Pietie and Sunny, but actually they are here to rob you. You let them in. You don't know who they are. When the police come, you're going to be like, I don't know. They look like this and this. They're going to laugh at you. So we use this mainly so that we know why the people are here, who they are, what they need, and where they come from. Not literally, no, they come from Botswana. Meaning, let's say, for instance, Google and iPad want to have a meeting. They say the people from iPad is here by the Google people to have the meeting. Do we understand? Okay. We also give the people visitors cards so that we can identify them as, oh, they are not an imposter, they are a visitor that's here. Okay. So let's also quickly read what we should remember when we receive visitors. We greet them warmly. Because let's be honest, if I greet you like this, hi, how are you? Are you going to be impressed with me? Not even a little bit, let's be honest. So we greet them warmly. Hi, how are you? How can I help you today? Okay. So we also remember to capture the visitor's information. Again, we don't want the people to rob you. So we always ask who, what, when, why. Why? Okay. Also, offer them a seat in a seating area. So let's say, for instance, the people from Google's prior meeting is taking a bit long. So then you can tell the people from iPhone, okay, please take a seat. The meeting is just running over. We will be with you shortly. Okay. We also have to maintain a professionalism with the people. So when we greet them, we can't be sup, my brew, or stuff like that. We have to greet them properly, professionally. We have to create the best impression that we possibly can. And we also have to keep the people nice informed. So again, let's say for instance the meeting runs late. Hi sir, sorry that you're waiting this long. The meeting is still running and stuff like that. Okay. So nou is ons by die werkaansoekproses. So ons begin altyd om te besluit watter werk ek wil hê. Soos byvoorbeeld ek het besluit om 'n onderwyser te word vir my redes. Ons het dit al klaar bespreek in die klas. Ons gaan nie nou weer dit bespreek via die video nie. As ook byvoorbeeld jy moet jou navorsing doen oor die maatskappy wat jy wil aansoek by doen. Jy moet oorweeg watter vaardighede het jy en watter die werk soek. Soos byvoorbeeld, as jy nie goeie tydsbestuur het nie, dan gaan jy nie 'n goeie kantoortannie word nie. OK. En jy moet ook jou salaris en voordeelvereistes ook in gedagte hou. Nou kom ons sê byvoorbeeld ek werk 10 ure per dag, maar ek word betaal R5000 aan die einde van die maand. Dink jy dit gaan werk? Nee. Jy werk so lank, so hard vir so 'n bietjie geld. So jy moet ook die geld in gedagte hou. Okay. So, now we are finally by the job applications. So, the first thing that we do is we decide what job we want. Like for instance, I decided to become a teacher. We all discussed this in class. Why? I'm not going to discuss it again over a video. And then afterwards, you're going to also do your research about the company before you apply for the job. Like for instance, I remember telling you guys this last term, you Facebook stalk them so that you know everything about everyone in that company. Okay. Then you also have to consider the skills for the particular position. Like for instance, if you want to become a receptionist but you don't have really good time management, then unfortunately that is not the job for you, but there's a lot of other jobs for you out there. And let's also remember, you have to always consider your salary as well as your benefits that you're going to get. Because let's say, for instance, you are working 10-hour days, 7 days a week, but you're only getting paid 5,000 Rand at the end of the month. That is not worth it. It's not going to work. Okay, so you also have to think about the amount of money or benefits that you want from your job. Ons is nou by kommunikasie. So ons gaan nou gou saam daai paragraaf saam lees. Is dit reg? So, werkplekkommunikasie is die uitruil van inligting in die werksomgewing. Daar is verskeie metodes om die inligting in die werkplek oor te dra, insluitend 1-tot-1 gesprekke, byvoorbeeld ek praat met jou, jy praat met my, asook byvoorbeeld groter spanvergaderings, byvoorbeeld jou sokkerspan het 'n meeting saam met julle coach, julle gaan nou dit ordentlik bespreek. Okay, dit is nou die game plan. Okay. As ook byvoorbeeld e-posse en video-oproepe. Teams, ons almal kan onthou tydens COVID, daai Teams meetings, Zoom en so voort. Okay. Goeie kommunikasie eienskappe wat Goeie kommunikasie eienskappe wat werk in die werkplek verbeter is byvoorbeeld empatie, luistervaardighede, respek, vra en stemtoon. Onthou, hierdie gaan nogals baie lekker belangrik wees vir die eksamen. So we are now finally by communication. Let's quickly read the last paragraph together. Workplace communication is the exchange of information in the work environment. There are several methods of conveying information in the workplace, including one on one conversations. Like, for instance, you're having a conversation with me, I'm having a conversation with you, vice versa. Or a larger team meetings. Let's say, for instance, the whole rugby team has to have a meeting with their coach about what is their game plan for the upcoming match. There's also emails and video calls. We all remember during COVID time those lovely Zoom meetings and lovely Teams meetings that we all had to go through. Okay, good communication qualities that improve the work in the workplace is, for instance, empathy, listening skills, respect, asking questions, and tone of voice. Nou, we have finally come to the end of this video. Ons is nou uiteindelik by die einde van hierdie video. So, asseblief vir julle eksamen, onthou 'n pen, 'n potlood, jy moenie jouself vergeet nie. Jy moet asseblief daarso wees vir hierdie eksamen. Dit is baie belangrik. So, for this exam, please remember a pen, a pencil, as well as yourself. You are really important for this exam. You have to be there to be able to complete it. Okay. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't stress. You guys will do amazing. Okay. We've prepared you for this. You have prepared yourself for this. You can do it. Okay. So I'm going to say bye for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay. Be safe. So ek gaan nou baie sê vir julle. As julle enige vrae het, moenie bang wees om te vra nie. Ek is hier so vir julle en lekker dag verder. Bye.